Okay, so I've got necessary gamer RGB lighting. Check. Welcome back. If you've seen my first video in regards to these series, or my introduction, whatever you want to call it, this is, I guess, Devlog 1, maybe 0. I'm going to give you an insight in regards to pretty much what my plan is, where we're going, what I'm trying to do here. If you haven't seen my intro video, I'm pretty much brand new in regards to the game development avenue. I'm going to try and make my own games, and I'm going to try and document my journey of learning, development, and the projects that we make along the way. Don't know where this is going to go. I've got a few game ideas floating around in my skull, and while I've fleshed them out on paper, they're pretty advanced. And considering I'm learning this from ground zero, you know, it's biting off a bit more than I could chew. Yeah, so let's start from the beginning. Like I say, I've got a number of games, game ideas, and I started to actually jump into them and start developing them in Godot 4. But because these games are kind of like really vast and I know nothing in regards to development, it became really daunting really quickly. And looking at a few blogs and articles and just commentary from other game developers, there was a bit of advice of not getting involved in really big games from the beginning, but doing little projects along the way to like learn, little important aspects of game development and sort of build up from there, which sounds reasonable. So I thought, hey, I'll do the same. I'll try it anyway. So I've started developing a game, and to be honest, I got a little overexcited, and I've actually released about 4 iterations of my first project to my Discord community already before I started recording these. But these videos are going to start from 0, and we'll catch up and we'll go from there. So my idea for my first game is a memory-based game. You know, the games where you flip a card and you got to match 2 and pretty much got to clear the board. I'm starting with that, but I'm going to make it a little different. We're going to be adding things like power-ups, competitive sort of timing, multiple game modes, points, scores, a global leaderboard. It ultimately creates some sort of competitiveness to drive people to keep playing, along with changing graphics, seasonal updates, that kind of thing. Or that, at least that's the idea. We'll see where we get to. Since I know nothing about it, installed Godot 4, started looking up some tutorials and all this sort of stuff, and I actually found a brilliant tutorial by BornCG here, who did a 2-part series on how to build a memory game. And this was perfect. So ultimately, he gives the instructions from the very beginning using some free assets, builds a basic memory game. Now, if you don't know BornCG, there's a bunch of different Godot tutorials here. Really good resource, really explained really well. This was a perfect little place to start. Now, while it's, the groundwork, there's a lot of things that I want to change here. But to show that the tutorial works, got my own little version here. All right, got my own little version, and it works. Now, caveat: the tutorial from BornCG is in Godot 3.2. I went with Godot 4, the latest. There is a huge amount of differences between Godot 3.2 and Godot 4. And for the uninitiated like me, that was a surprise when I was trying to follow along with the tutorial, and a number of things just didn't work. A little bit of Googling here and there, find out, complete huge aspects of Godot have changed. So it became this whole endeavor of learning and researching on my part to find out how to correct that and get the game working as currently intended by BornCG. Did it work? Well, the game plays as intended. It works Is it the most efficient? Probably not. Did I find the right solution to the problems that were presented to me? Possibly not, but it runs. It doesn't melt my PC. I mean, it's a memory game, so it's not going to melt my PC, but it works. It's the basic memory type game here. We're using 4 different suits of playing cards here. You can match any one of them together, so any queen will match with any queen, so it's kind of a 1 to 4, or there's four version of cards that you can match to anyway. And once you clear the board, you're done. Like, there's no score, there's no points, there's no victory graphics or anything like that. It's just that, and you close the program. It works. Simple as that. So essentially, version 0.00001 done, right? We've got this underway. I understand some of the concepts behind the game, behind making the game, I should say. And yeah, it works. I gave it to my community. They could play it. Done. Now, a couple things that I want to do going forwards. And this is the first project we're going to sort of work on. I've got a couple versions already, and you'll see that in the next future videos. But I want to move away from playing cards. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like the aspect of it being playing cards. So I'm going to change the graphics on that. And it's going to be only 2 matches possible, or 2 cards to match possible. So it's actually going to make the game, would you call it 4 times more difficult? Instead of having 4 cards you can match, there's only going to be 1 other card you can match. Something like that, right? 4 times more difficult? Yeah. But we're also going to go down the path of having a limited amount of misses or bad matches before game over. All right. Currently, as it is, the game will just continuously let you attempt, right? Until you've cleared that board. There's no penalty or anything like that. Well, to make things a little interesting, I'm going to limit that. Then we're going to add in some points, and then we're going to have changing graphics. We're going to have levels, power-ups, and we'll talk more about that in future videos. But this is laying the groundwork, and we'll go from there. So there's not much to talk about in this video. Gives you an idea of what we're working with, where we're going to go from here, and no doubt there are going to be a few pitfalls along the way. But hopefully you're interested in joining along on the ride. And of course, if you have any tips or tutorials or anything that you share, feel free to drop them in the comments. Like I say, I'm starting from absolute scratch. So half my time is spent just learning what I need to do next, and then trying to figure out how to actually integrate it the way I want. So yeah, big thank you to BornCG for the groundwork on this tutorial. We're going to be changing this game a lot from that initial structure. But yeah, we'll go from there. Hopefully you enjoy this. It's not much, I realize. Hopefully they get a little bit more engaging further along the way. So look forward to more. See you later.